My name is Peter Kiiru. I am a certified public accountant, and I also do financial counseling at Kiiru. I'm here to talk about family finances and stewardship. I'll start by first describing what money is. Money is the media that we use to buy value. We exchange money to receive an item that we require. Money in the family helps to run quite a number of things. That is our needs within the family, and also needs for people we support, like our parents and also families. So money is very, very important within the family. Money within the family has its own advantages if well used. Of course, it brings a lot of joy within the family. It helps to bring quite a lot of abilities within the family by taking children to school, by feeding us, and of course, getting to give us shelter. On the other hand, money can be a media of disadvantages within the family if not well used. Where money is used without a plan within the family, then of course we have a problem, because it means there will always be fights within the family. There are various ways that would affect our sources of money, and this or even reduce the money that we require within the families. This includes sickness. It includes joblessness if one is job losses if one is sacked. Of course, we have government directives. Like recently, we've seen the issues to do with SHA, the issues to do with housing, and of course, different taxations when they come or when they are increased. We have calamities. We all can remember what happened with COVID and the impact it brought within the families because of job losses and of course lack of commodities that we really require. One of the biggest disadvantage that I would wish to talk as a counselor is addiction. If you have an addiction person within the family, then that again becomes quite a lot of money needs, because this person requires a lot of attention when it comes to rehabs, which on average would take as much as 200,000 shillings within the family. And this is something that was not expected. Let me ask, which are some of the sources of money? According to one author, Robert Kiyosaki, money comes from various places depending on where one is placed. Robert tells us about the first group of people who are employees. Employees are people who work in various institutions. What are the advantages of employees? Employees are assured of a monthly income, and of course, that really helps the family. But there is a disadvantage as employees, because jobs get finished through redundancy, or even you can be sacked. The second group, according to Robert, are the professionals. These are people who have trained in various careers, but they are self-employed. People like lawyers, people like accountants, people like priests. But the advantage with that is that they are self-employed, they regulate what they do, and they plan their own jobs. But the disadvantage of a professional is when they die with their knowledge. Nobody in the family can be a lawyer if a lawyer dies. Nobody can be an accountant if the accountant dies. And nobody can be even a priest if the priest dies. The third group are the people who deal with businesses. And these are people who have employed others. The advantage about businessmen is they regulate and plan their business again, just like professionals. But the disadvantage again comes with government regulations like taxations and things to do with competition from other business rivals. And the final group are the investors. These are the people who use money to work for them. They have invested quite a lot of money, and the money they have invested brings in an income every other month or every other period as the deal may be. That the advantage with the investors is they are able, they just sit back and wait for money to come in. But the disadvantage is the market again can change within no time because of the various dynamics within the market. As I talk about this family, I would like to talk about the importance of budgeting so that families don't use money haphazardly. What is a budget? A budget is a record, a pre-record that one comes up with, and the record helps to show the person the needs in what they should spend within the monies that they have. So when doing a budget, you have first and foremost to record what you need. And this means the items that you require. You have to separate your needs and your wants. These are the things that family people must agree. An example of a need is something like a house. You need shelter. So shelter is a need. An example of a want is probably something to do with an ornament. You can do without it, but if you have enough money, then you can buy it. When doing a budget, you have to identify your fixed costs and your variable costs. What are fixed costs? Fixed costs are costs that will not change within the year. Your house rent is a fixed cost. It will not change from January to December. So you have always to introduce, assuming your salary is 30,000, then your rent is about 15,000. So you will always know that 15,000 has to go towards the house rent every month, whether anything else comes in or it doesn't. So what are variable costs? Variable costs are costs that vary, and these may include your shopping, clothing, which you may not want. Instead of buying new clothes, you can buy used clothes. And of course, buying of those used clothes brings about the issue of varying the cost. You do not need to buy a shirt every month. So you may only have a budget for a shirt twice in a year. So a budget for the purpose of this talk must only have 5 columns. The first column is a column for your items. That is your rent, that is your shopping, and your school fees, and all the other things that you require within the month. The second column must show what you intend to use, and it is you to decide before you receive the money. The third column should show what you have used. So you have to compare what you had intended to budget and what you have used in order to come with the fourth column to see the difference. And the difference here is what we call in finance a variance. Your variance should either be a positive or a negative. A positive means you've spent less than what you intended to use in the first place. And a negative means you've spent more than you had actually intended to use. And of course, the fifth column should always be a column that should state why that happened, so that you are able to follow up. Now, it's important for you to have a budget every month before you receive the money. And of course, your budget should be within the expected amounts. You should not have a budget of more than what you expect to receive. Now, I'm going to talk about debt, because debt has actually been what has really hit quite a lot of families. And the dangers of debt is they have seen families lose houses, families lose land, families fail to even educate children. We have now been introduced to app loans, and app loans are very lucrative and attractive. These are loans where you just get an icon on your phone, and you are able to increase your borrowing amount depending on how good in paying you are. What most people don't understand is the interest rates for those loans are very, very high. And the moment you fail to pay, then of course the consequences are very, very harsh. The worst being you'll be placed under the CRB, that is the Credit Reference Bureau, and that of course bars you from borrowing money from any other institution. And of course that curtails your ability to grow due to that hindrance. App loans will always increase the amount you pay, and the interest you pay means immediately you pay, you have to reborrow again, not knowing that you're giving advantage to the people, advantage to the lenders, but whatever you are paying ends up being very, very punitive to the lender. So we have to be very, very careful when it comes to app loans, because they have been seen to contribute to family feuds and even to our youthful children at the university. They are now not able even to get employment because of such loans. At one time, it had to get the government's intervention to have the students' debts being waived, because it's like even after reading, they could not get jobs. Now, for families, we encourage you to do a lot of savings, and these savings may be found in the SACCOs. These SACCOs are readily available in the churches. They are readily available in various institutions, and they offer very, very good interest rates after borrowing. These are better than the app loans that most of us have fallen into, and they should be encouraged. And of course, members in every church should be encouraged or even taught about how to borrow with such. When it comes to savings, I would encourage members, wherever they are, to even invest very, very much in socially, because when you do that socially, you actually increase your capital borrowing, that is from friends, because of your contribution in the manner you participate socially within the families and the neighborhood. Finally, I would want to talk about retirement when it comes to the members. And by retirement, the key thing I'm talking about is preparation. Most of us suffer because we do not prepare for preparation, and we kind of just get surprised when you are told that you are just about to leave your home, your work. So how do you prepare for retirement? Preparing for retirement means engaging in savings, building houses, discussing with your family members about your retirement that is coming, so that they too do not get surprised because of that. There are various stages that you're required to undergo, and because of time, this may not be discussed in this short clip. Of course, think about your post-retirement vocations. What will you do after retirement? Because you still need to work. At the age of 60, when most of us retire, we are still strong enough to continue working. And there are quite a lot of other vocations that you can engage in other than going back to the reserve and be a hindrance to the family. We have to admit that times have changed, and these are not the days when our children took care of us. In fact, today, it is the retired parents who continue taking care of their children. Finally, let me specifically talk about one area where, in my experience, I've seen families are losing quite a lot of money. And these are family conflicts related to inheritance. These have actually messed up so many families, and it's because of court-related expenses. In place of that, there is what we call mediation, and mediation is being practiced in courts today, and it is very, very cheap. We have private mediations and we have court-annexed mediations, and these are quite cheap and very, very fast, and they help families resolve their issues in a very, very short period. All this information can be gotten from our KIPCO offices, and we shall be glad to receive you there. Allow me to end it there by saying thank you very much for listening, and we shall be glad to see you again. Thank you.